Joins in. Hemendra Hazari and Siddharth Bhamre will also be with us in just a bit to take us through the dying moments of the day and the week. Amisha, hi, afternoon. Well, you know, the stock of the day, or rather the stock of this week clearly has been Nestle. And because of Nestle's loss, we've seen a lot of money move into some other FMCG names like Emami, Britannia, etc. How do you approach this space now? And what are your top picks in this segment?
So Nestle, I think, has met with a slightly bigger accident than one could have perceived, and it will have its repercussions definitely on the earnings, both in short to medium term. But we have seen in the past, you know, sometimes even in Cadbury, similar incidents had happened. And since then, if one wants to check, Cadbury sales are maybe 3 to 4 times higher today. So there is definitely a problem in the short to medium term, no doubt about it. But one understands that over, say, couple of years, there will be a strong strategy to bounce back. And investors with long patience probably will get an opportunity to buy that in next couple of months' time, or maybe now to next couple of months' time. Coming to Britannia, that continues to be one of our top picks. Not only that, you know, they're doing very well in their volume growth and the product mix, focusing more in terms of distribution. In some of the states where their market share is in double digit or single digit as compared to overall market share being upwards of 25%. So that's going to continue to give them a very good growth. But also the entire commodity, major raw material outlook for them continues to be very soft, be it on wheat, be it on milk powder, be it on sugar. So I think as a combination, we still believe it has potential to generate 30% plus kind of earnings growth. So not a very, you can say, undiscovered kind of a gem, but it is on a growth trajectory and it will continue to be a good part of a portfolio. And overall within that segment, we still believe that at corrections, Pidilite and Asian Paints on a medium term, or on rather medium term basis, will be good picks, but we will keep getting them at slightly more interesting levels over next 2 quarters.
Okay, Amisha, thanks a lot for that bunch of advice. We'll come back to you in a minute. Quickly, Amisha, is this the pain of that steep fall in many of those highly leveraged mid-cap companies, the JP Group, Lancos, GMRs, all of that we saw day before yesterday? Would there be something like margin calls and all still very much waiting to happen?
No, I think a good round of that has happened. It was a kind of, you know, vicious chain reaction which happened. And I don't think, at least there would always be a few stocks, if this kind of situation keeps lingering, that would come in trouble, and nobody can really predict. But what started a couple of days back, I think that has got settled.
Okay, I wanted to get you in on this banking discussion, Amisha, because, you know, this week as well, ICICI Bank goes home with an 11% loss and SBI is down almost about 8% odd. In fact, from the top, I think this year SBI is now down 20%. Is this a good time to be buying some of these good quality banks, or do you also believe that in the due course of time we will get better levels?
So I think that, you know, I heard Hemendra Hazari being pretty bearish on the asset quality outlook. And you know, that fear of even private banks catching up with large asset quality issues from some of these very large exposures in private names. And that fear had been there for almost, I would say, for almost a year or more. Also, there is a fact that not a lot of concrete work has happened, be it in terms of actual broad outlook changing in terms of growth, or there being very concrete steps to get them relieved of their assets. But at the same time, it will be very difficult to imagine a scenario of these 50,000 crore kind of accounts going bad. So I don't think we factor in that kind of a scenario in our numbers, and that will be like a, Greece coming into difficulty kind of a scene as of now, as far as when we talk about any outlook on markets or banks or their earnings is concerned. So we have not been able to factor that in at the moment.
Okay. Siddharth, any last trades?
What are your thoughts on what one should do with Sun Pharma now? That stock as well is down about close to 15% this week. I mean 13% or so. From the pharmaceutical space, what would be, if at all, any stocks that you're buying? And particularly on Sun Pharma, what do you do?
So currently, within the pharma pack, our topic is Glenmark. We think that Glenmark has almost more than 35 to 40 products, which is more than 36 months older, where US permissions are likely to come soon. They also have some in-licensing opportunities over next 12 to 24 months. And we think that they should be in a position to generate more than probably 2,000 crore kind of cash to retire a good amount of debt. So that continues to be our topic. And coming to Sun Pharma, I think that it being one of the very well-held stock, coming after a very long time in terms of some of the US related issues into trouble on one of their plants, I don't think in a hurry it's going to bounce back. And maybe if over a couple of quarters things do not turn around, some positions can get paired. So I'm not in a very much hurry at the moment.
Well, quite incident, something that people can chew over the weekend in terms of good bets. You gave us a goodish bit of consumer bets outside that space.
Consumer space outside that space. Sorry, I didn't get your question.
You gave us a lot of consumer bets. Can you give us bets outside that space? Non-consumer bets. Okay.
Okay. So I think the first, action we feel is happening in terms of maybe a little gradual and little late, but in government spending. So on road and rail and transmission. So within the transmission sector, KEC we like a lot. We think that they've bagged good orders. They have any which way very good order book. They were facing the margin issues which are seemingly over with some of the oldish orders. So with good top line growth, we think the EBITDA margins would also grow. So that stock continues to look very interesting to us.
Okay. Anything in the telecom space that catches your eye, Amisha? Because that space has been bucking the trend. And any reason for which the stocks like Idea have been moving higher these days?
I think very broadly in terms of all the policy uncertainties seems to be behind. Not uncertainties, but, with the auction, the costs are all in place. So now the players, the cost, most of it is in place, except of course Reliance Jio, how it plays out. But there will be, I'm sure, some, price rises, and that's how the industry will benefit. That's a broad metrics under which the stocks have started performing. Also with the fact that some of them have not participated in last year's rally at all.
Fair point.
Giving us your thoughts on all the stocks, and hope you guys have a great weekend. It's Friday, so we're going to let you guys go, and we're going to take a break ourselves.
Fund and